We appreciate those folks that checked out the number one true fighter, Warren Ballantyne, in that last segment. But we are going to move on. Before we do that, we have a new person that has joined the show, joining us from our Thursday night show. Our Thursday night show is called All Throttle Radio. Our brother Solo is in.
What's going on, people?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right. How y'all doing?
Doing outstanding.
Outstanding. Are you guys ready for Friday?
What's Friday? Nothing important is happening Friday.
Nothing really important, but what's happening Friday?
What's happening Friday?
Is that the 20th?
Friday the 20th? I don't know. What's Friday the 20th?
Your new president's coming in office.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah,
that.
I feel you guys.
Do I get a day off from work? Yeah. Hey, look, I took the day off. I'm on Friday. So, I won't get into specifically my complete and total reason for taking off Friday, but I'll just say that I took off Friday. I'll tell y'all offline why I took off Friday, but I knew exactly where you were going. I was just picking on you.
Yeah, I knew that, man. I knew that. You're up on things. I know you are.
Yeah, I was just picking on you, but let's just say that I will not be out and about looking at everybody grinning at my ass as they inaugurate Donald J. Trump as the new president of the United States. So anyway, we can talk more about that. We got the Champipple room that's coming up right now. We're going to sip on some pimp juice later on, but right now we're going to walk into the room with the lava lamps.
Let me ask you a quick question before we do that.
What's up?
I just want to, because I was just sitting there, when we had the number one true fighter, Lauren Ballantyne, on the last segment, I was just agreeing with some of the things he was saying. I think that in 3 years, we will be at war.
Oh, yeah.
We will be at war in 3 years. But the one thing about that is, war is big business. Mm-hmm. People, we aren't thinking about it. We were talking about everything that he's going to put into place. He's thinking about everything that, the new jobs that we're going to have, but then he's going to put us at war, which, again, that's crazy to sit there and think. If he makes it. Now, see, the number one true fighter, Warren Ballantyne, seems to be under the assumption that he's going to make it 2 years. I don't know if he's going to make it all the way to 2 years, especially with some of the underhanded stuff coming back around and potentially coming out.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Warren, but what I will tell you is one of the things that he says a lot on his show is that he doesn't think that he's going to last the 4 years.
I don't think so.
We didn't actually get to that. We kind of went all over the place, but I'm glad you mentioned that. And he laid out, what he thinks is going to happen in 2 years and in 3 years, and I guess I cut him off right at the end before he got to 4. But he's been pretty clear in his opinion is that he doesn't think that he's going to make it to 4 years. I personally don't know. I think there's a lot of emotion that's around Donald Trump, mostly because most logically thinking people have such an issue with his character that we're not willing to watch what he does with the country. You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of people who voted for him who are saying that it's okay that he's grabbing peas and it's okay that he's saying what he's saying about, people in other communities. But if he can turn the country around, then I'll take that. And that's kind of been the general consensus of what I've been hearing from a lot of these people. And my response to them when they've said that to me is, if his character is not such that he's not worthy of the office that he has, then the decisions that he makes in some of those areas where you think would be positive are already tainted.
Yep.
Because his character is suspect. And so I honestly think that it's possible that he might piss off a country that might want a new Gus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? So anyway, back to you, Mr. 3375. I don't know if what you got is along these lines. If they are, then we'll continue. And if not, then we'll change gears. The con is yours, as they say on Star Trek.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. Tiffany Lynn is hitting us up. She says, sending love from Colorado.
Yes. Peace, Tiffany. Thank you, sister. Thank you for checking us out.
That's right. Yeah, it's along the line. I really want to know your opinion. I'm gonna give my opinion last on this subject, but what do y'all really think about the meeting between Steve Harvey and Donald Trump?
Okay, who cares? I mean, it's a lot of things that go along with that. I mean, he's had several different meetings with people Ray Lewis, Steve Harvey, today Martin Luther King III. I mean, he's not speaking to anybody that truly has any juice with our communities. Most people think that Steve Harvey is cooning. Everybody knows that Ray Lewis doesn't have any. They don't have any substance to what's going on. So that's why I think a lot of folks are really agitated and mad right now, because you're not talking to the people that you really need to be talking to in order to get something accomplished. I mean, you're just talking to put a face with somebody, and you're speaking to entertainers. Right. You're not speaking to anybody with any true gems that could potentially help you maneuver through our black communities, or help you maneuver through the minorities that we have in our country to get us to where we want to be. It's a show, folks. It's a facade. Just like his television show, The Apprentice. That's what it is. It's a show for you.
Right. No, I tend to agree with you. I'm looking, and I got such mixed feelings about this one, because on the one hand, I'm like, why are you going to meet this man? Like, why are you going to meet this man? There's certain people that I don't take them serious. Like, I don't take Kanye West serious, and I don't, I don't take, respectfully, I don't take, Ray Lewis seriously. You know what I mean? When we talking about the advancement of people, not just black people, but just people. I'm sure he does some cool stuff, Ray Lewis does, but not anything that I'm personally familiar with, and that colors my opinion. Somebody like Jim Brown, I respect Jim Brown because of the things that he's seen and the things that he's done. And so for him to take the meeting with Donald Trump, and for him to come out of it and have positive feelings towards it, that's a little bit mysterious to me. Like, he came away from it saying some positive things about Donald Trump. Like, wow, okay. Back to Steve Harvey, the internet blew up, Facebook and social media, it all blew up. And you got a lot of people in social media that were saying some really, not nice things about Steve Harvey because he took this meeting. Here's what I will say to you. You really don't know what a person does, why a person does what a person does. If Steve Harvey went into that meeting and said, you know what, I'll work with you, Donald Trump, if you put money into these groups and these camps that I do for these boys, and every single year we expand it from this location to another location, and I can take more boys, and he got that in writing or in some kind of way where the president-elect is locked into it. 2 years from now, knowing this, are you still calling him a coon? I mean, we don't know what the meeting was, and I think he talked a little bit about the specifics on his radio show this morning.
Well, he had the transcript of the conversation.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, I'm not familiar with it.
I didn't read it, but I'm saying, he had the transcript.
Yeah, and I think that came out today, but, for me to kind of specifically address. Now, Malcolm X was right on it when he said that these white leaders basically will find a prominent black person to come and meet with them so that they can have the illusion of them actually trying to reach out to our community, and nothing actually happens.
A token. And
there's something to be said for that. So I really have mixed feelings. Well, my deal is, you got these people who just don't know, and just the visual of Steve Harvey taking a meeting elicits all of this negative backlash and all of these things that people who don't even know the man is saying about him. I just got a problem with talking trash about a person in social media that you don't know. That's whack to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of whack to me. And if you do that, then, I'm not saying you as an individual are whack, but that as a practice to me is whack, especially when we're talking about someone who's already shown that they are prominent in the community and have done things in the community for the people. You don't think that it could be something productive that will come out of having a conversation with the president-elect just because you don't like him? There are plenty of people who do. And there are plenty of people who think that was a decent thing for him to do. I'm not saying I'm one of them. I'm just laying it out there that I got a little bit of an issue with how aggressive folks were, saying that he's a coon and he's sold out and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not sure that I actually agree with that. I got mixed feelings. You might ask me tomorrow and I might feel different. And please don't call him Uncle Tom. Read the book and realize Uncle Tom was a hero.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, say Sambo.
Yeah,
say
Sambo.
Yeah, say Sambo. Don't say Uncle Tom. So that's how I feel about it. Our brother Tavon is checking us out. Tavon said it's about gentrification and buying up the hood. He's a real estate dude, which is very, very important because that's how we know, going back to what Warren said in the last segment, that there's going to be some jobs made. If you pay attention to what is important to the presidents, that's usually the industry that benefits. Agriculture benefited under Jimmy Carter, and there was a boom of money, for the country when Ronald Reagan, for a lot of people, when Ronald Reagan was the president. You had a lot of war that started under George Bush, so you had a lot of, businesses that made money for that. His son, George Bush, was an oil man, so a lot of people made a whole lot of money. That's the reason why anybody think it's a coincidence that when George Bush II was the president of the United States, we was dealing with $5 and $6 gas. You know what I mean? Because he was an oil guy. Whereas now we producing our own fuels and things like that, and nobody wants to lay that as an advancement by President Barack Hussein Obama. When we paying, I think I paid like $2.17 for gas, and it had gotten as low as like $2 earlier, a few weeks ago. So, I mean, he's probably going to make some jobs. I think I agree with Warren on that one, but it's kind of like, that friend that's like selling hot CDs out the trunk of their car, and he making money, but it's only a matter of time before the car gets confiscated because it's not good money.
I think I think that the way our country is going to be run, he's going to be more of a puppet, and the puppeteers are going to be the people who are sitting behind, like you said, his buddies. I think I'm pretty sure he made some promises out there that do not want to, that he's going to have to hold true to. Think about it. At first everybody was saying, hey, Russia this, Russia that. Russia was happy that it was him, him and Putin is best boys, and But then it comes back around that Putin is, Russia. I'm assuming, I think I remember that correctly, that Russia was in on some of the election type scandalous stuff that was going on and blah, 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 blah. Now they got, some stuff where he was at one of the hotels in Russia with some strippers or whatever they were, female prostitutes, or I don't know, male, female, one of them.
I mean, Bill Clinton was doing what he was doing in the Oval Office, so I'm not sure that I have a problem so much with that. Maybe that's my, but I'm with you on the fact that he's in bed with the Russians some kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, just reflecting on what you said, I think that's going back to some of those character flaws that we had, that even though you might be doing something now, it's tainted because now we really can't trust you.
Right.
I mean, we gave Bill a pass. Black folks did, at least, because at the time they gave him a pass because they weren't aware of what it was. They were just going on the fact that the dude could play a saxophone a little bit and he moved down to Harlem. Okay, great.
He's my dude.
But we also know that during Bill Clinton's administration was when we just see how many of our black men were put in jail.
Right.
I think that's when the initiation of 3 strikes you're out thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it came from Bill Clinton.
Yeah, so, we got to sit there and look and see what's going on. I'm just a little bit nervous about the fact. I mean, I still feel that you're looking at some of the legacies of what our current president right now, because until Friday, he's still my president. Yeah. And I'm going to be rocking with Jeezy on them, my president black. I'm going to rock it out as soon as it comes. As soon as he put his hand up, the new one with the orange hair. As soon as he put his hand, I'm clowning right now, but I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, no, I can dig. We're getting a couple of hits on social media. Michelle K is agreeing with me. She was a little disappointed with Steve, but he's human. People call him disrespectful names. It's crazy. The man has a family. It's disrespectful to them as well. The Republicans and your new president want our black community to fight and disagree amongst ourselves. We need to wake up. Tavon says that they're dumping money into the nation's infrastructure. So a lot that is going on. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Mr. 3375, you got another one for us?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Just to piggyback on something right quick. want to read something for y'all, and I want to know, do y'all think this is what Steve Harvey and Martin Luther King and all of them, all these black leaders are? And I already know you gonna know who wrote this. I have come across so many weaklings who professes to be leaders, and in the test I have found them but the slaves of a nobler class. They perform the will of their masters without any question.
That's interesting. Before we delve into that, we just had a blast of estrogen rolled up in the room, joining us for the first time in 2017. Our sister and yours, Didi, is in the room. What's up, Didi?
Happy New Year. I can still say that right.
Happy New Year's.
Since we haven't
Happy
seen
New
you.
Year's.
We haven't seen you.
With an S. Happy New Year's.
Yeah,
Really?
whatever.
Okay.
What's up, sis?
Nothing
You looking
much.
mighty red over there?
I know. Representing right.
had their,
Yes.
what, anniversary?
Founders Day.
Founders
Ours
Day.
was Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Did my community service today too. So
For real?
yeah, the few times I put my letters on.
I can dig it. A few times.
Yeah, I'm not a big Nelia person at all. I like to do things, and I don't need to be representing Delta Sigma Theta while I'm doing it. So.
I can dig it. I can dig it. You know, some folks do it just so that they can wear their stuff,
No.
right? You know, or they can light up their cars or something. You know,
Yeah.
so you know.
Not the kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, Mr. 3375, how about you put our sister on the spot? Just give her first dibs.
Am I supposed to know answer who wrote it?
No, I know who wrote
We
it.
know who wrote it.
Oh, okay.
You don't know who wrote it?
I don't. I really don't. Who wrote
I
it?
give you one question. Marcus was named after.
I figured that's who wrote it, but I was like, I'm not going to say that out loud. And I say that because I think I heard that quote, and it's completely off subject. The show that came on HBO with Nucky Thompson, and the season that Jeffrey Wright was on there, and he was playing the guy that was supposed to be one of Marcus Garvey's.
Is that the movie, the Prohibition
Yeah,
show with
yeah.
like what's the scar dude with the scar?
Michael
K. Wayne.
Yeah, he was in there too. But yeah, I think he said that quote.
Oh, Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire. I think he said that on one of the episodes. I think, or they played it on one of the on-demand episodes afterwards. But anyway, I do agree with it to a certain degree. The part that I agree with is the leaders, or I guess the self-proclaimed leaders,
Right.
because we don't. Who did the black people elect or choose as their leader? I mean, outside of the president of the United States, but you've got the big name, the people who are out, mainstream media. I think that applies to a majority of them.
Right.
Then you've got the grassroots people, the people who are really in it for the people.
Right.
I mean, there are some people out here working for us. They really are. They just aren't getting recognition because they don't know any of the big people. So
Well, like you said, it's not what you know.
it's who
It's
you.
who
It
you
really
know.
is who you know.
And we also had to realize that who we know right now is not going to be able to help us a whole lot as far as our legislative body is concerned.
Not now.
51% or better?
Yeah, I mean, where potentially it would be scary if there wasn't a blueprint. Where it's scary is that we don't follow the blueprint. The blueprint is group economics and working together. That's the blueprint.
Bipartisanship? Nah.
Well, I'm not even speaking about politically. I'm speaking more economically and more socially, because W.E.B. Du Bois talked about the talented 10th. So basically, for every 100 people, you got 10 really smart people, male, female, what have you. And if those people led, which most try, it's the 90% that don't really care. But if those folks led and the 90% followed appropriately, a lot of the problems and ills that we have would be solved. Our problem is we don't trust one another, and we worry about the government and want them to fix a lot of the problems that we have. And I guess in a way, that's kind of a Republican way of thinking, and I have no problem saying that, because the government ain't gonna fix all your problems. If you're a middle class person who is pretty okay, I mean, you good, you know what I mean? You go to work every day, you know, you're in relatively good health, and barring anything catastrophic, you're gonna be all right for the next 10 to 20 years. You kind of don't need the government. You just kind of don't need the government. And so if you got about 10 or 20 other people who are in that same demographic, y'all could do some stuff that would benefit the people that's behind you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So put your money together. Let's go buy some houses and flip them. Or let's go buy a strip mall and put the people in the neighborhood to work.
Right.
But we don't think that way, because we so busy trying to do us.
Right.
And we so busy worrying about what's going to happen politically. Like the politics, like, come on, man. Like you said, Joe, 51 votes in the Senate. The Republicans have the Senate, they have the House, they have the presidency, and the President of the United States is about to appoint a Supreme Court justice, and he's probably going to have at least one or two more. And so everything is about to be opposed to social programs for the people. I can't wait for that day when a Republican realizes that he ain't got no health insurance no more.
Oh, it's coming.
I'm looking at that. Oh my.
Not you mean as a person, like a regular person, not somebody in Congress.
Oh yeah, like somebody in our demographic that votes differently.
Well, there was somebody just on
Congress gonna get the same thing. You know, some of them boys got them bad hearts. They got them.
Yeah, but they got lifetime health insurance. Lifetime.
Yeah, they do. I'm talking about the rural guy with the Confederate flag in the back of his truck.
That's who's going to have to.
I'm talking about that guy who don't want Obamacare, but he's happy to have the Affordable Care Act.
Oh my God.
Because he's so stupid.
That guy.
The same thing.
That guy.
Yeah, there was a town hall with Paul Ryan last week where the Republican, but see, he's not the Confederate waving, not Paul Ryan, but the guy that stood up in the audience.
Right.
He said he voted Republican. He actually voted for Trump. And he voted for him because he wanted him to appeal Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. But then he said he had an issue, I think he had a heart attack, or he found out that he had cancer, some type of cancer. And he said if it weren't for the ACA, he would have been up
Shit's Creek.
But he's going to be up that creek now. What if he loses?
No. What he said to Paul Ryan was, how can you continue to want to vote to repeal this thing without putting forth a better plan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, he said, you know what? Paul Ryan was talking. He said, I don't want to interrupt you, but I must say I appreciate President Barack Obama for the Affordable Care Act.
This was the man said that.
Mm-hmm. The Republican, the guy who said I voted for Trump because I wanted him to
repeal.
I'm sorry, repeal. I keep saying uphill. As in go to court.
Because it saved his life or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I was like, interesting.
I mean, I'm looking at a lot of things that were done. Potentially that or could be done. And now, none of this, let's be clear, none of this is written in stone right now.
No.
It's not written in stone, but we also know that, the blueprint behind what they want to happen is probably going to happen. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of our military guys because a lot of those guys have pre-existing conditions, and a lot of them don't have TRICARE.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get out, or if you have something that happen and you get away and you can't do this or that, TRICARE doesn't take care of it. Believe me, TRICARE don't take care of everything.
It's just, I get really sad sometimes and frustrated, which is the reason why I try to avoid getting emotionally connected to politics.
Yeah.
Because, and I say this with all due respect and sincerity, but people are stupid. The electorate is stupid.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why, as a trained journalist, I remember when I was in college and they taught us, when we do the news, we speak on a 3rd to 5th grade level. Because everybody understands that.
Yeah.
And it's not something that most of them will, I shared it just now because I shared it. But That's how they teach you. They teach you
Wow.
that way. When you go and you watch the news, they don't use big words. They're not overly articulate.
You know what? You're right. I saw something today. They kept saying these workers were killed. And I'm waiting for them to say, well, who killed them? They fell in a hole or something. Something happened and they died as a result of the fumes that came up with them. I'm like, well, nobody was killed. They died as a result of a work-related issue.
But that's too many words.
Oh,
no, seriously. Seriously.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
I was really waiting for them to say who killed these workers.
Because you're not stupid. And you can comprehend. And I'll say stupid. And I really don't mean that in a very, very disrespectful way, the way it's coming off. But the reality is most folks are just not learning to certain things. Right. And they're not able to comprehend certain things because of their way of life. The normal electorate. And that's okay. That's okay. But the part that's not okay is brilliant people or shysters who go in and take advantage of them and get them to do their bidding so that they can get what they want.
You mean like Donald Trump did? I'm gonna say it. You mean like Donald Trump did?
Yeah, say it.
with his election?
I just don't get it.
There's two types of Republicans.
Yes, there are.
There's two types of Republicans.
But he is a billionaire. I don't know how somebody who has nothing could vote for this man thinking he's going to bring about the change that they need in their life.
Because
that doesn't make sense.
Because what he did was he broke it down and he got in people's heads and used their fears or their anger of, I'm going to put it plainly, race was one of the big things that caused people to look that way.
And that'll always, you're right.
It will always be there.
Jeez.
Then he used certain, think about it. The wall, I'm going to just use the wall for example. And correct me if I'm wrong. The wall, you're going to make another country. Now listen.
Thank you.
You're going to make Mexico pay for a wall.
Thank you.
The first part that's wrong with that is you're not going to make them pay for anything. Second part that's wrong with that, do you all really believe that they were going to actually put up a wall? A lot of people really believe they were going to actually go put up a concrete wall.
Because that's what he kept saying.
Well, he implied.
But he said it.
No, he did say it. He said we are. That's what we're going to do.
They're going to put up a wall. You know, the whole thing with the wall. You know, everything that he did. Let's just say everything because that's too definitive. But a lot of what he did had a lot of racial overtones that where I got frustrated, where you were dealing with white folk who would call you a race baiter. And I get called race baiter almost as much as I get called Marcus. You know, that when you see it, you're a race baiter because they don't see it.
They don't see it.
You don't see it because you're the default. You know what I mean? Like, and again, you know, I don't run from the race discussion here, and I encourage anybody who disagrees to communicate. We're having issues with them, so phones don't work. So if you're in social media, hit us up in that way. But white is the default in this country. Mm-hmm. Until we get to a point where we're comfortable even saying that out loud and acknowledging that, then that's a non-starter. White is the default in this country. This country was founded by white people. This country is led by white people. The doctors are white. The lawyers are white. The teachers are white. The police officers are white. The neighbors are white. There are a lot of white folk that can go through large portions of their days and weeks and not see nothing but white people. Black people don't have that luxury. Okay? And so until you understand that we are going to come from a completely different mindset and perspective than you are, then you're never going to understand. Like, I don't care if your best friend is black. I don't care that you have black people in your family. I don't care about any of those things because you do not understand unless you walk a day in my shoes, or in Dee Dee's shoes, or in Joe's shoes, or Mr. 3375's shoes, or in Solo's shoes. Like, that's the part that's maddening. And so when you hear him say things like, we're going to build a wall to keep out Mexicans because they send the worst of their people here, like, really? And you pumped your fist and said, build a wall, when he told you This was why he wants to build a wall. Now, don't twist the words. Don't say that not all Mexicans, because that ain't what he said.
That's not what he said.
He said to keep out Mexicans who send the worst of their worst here. And there are plenty of people who are of Mexican descent that are outstanding citizens. Some may have come here legally. Some may have come here illegally. But the incidences of there being bad things happening because of people who came from Mexico are a lot smaller than crazy white boys running up in churches and schools and movie theaters and stuff like that.
That's right.
So all of a sudden, Mexicans are there's something wrong with them. Or black people, you know, there's something wrong with us. But you can't acknowledge, you know, like I was talking to my brother Tavon, and hopefully my brother Tavon is listening, and I wish I could tell you to call in and tell your own story. Hit me in social media if you're still listening, but Tavon mentioned that he was talking to somebody, and they said that when the Dylan Roof thing, when it was in the, when they were trying to determine if they were going to execute him, the penalty phase. When they were in the penalty phase, sentencing phase, yeah. The person, the white woman that he was talking to saying, oh man, he's too young to execute. This is a mentality. Now, I don't know the woman. This is his story, and I'm paraphrasing the story that was given to me from someone else. But let's say, for example, this was just a normal white woman who just doesn't know that if you killed 9 people, black or white, then your ass should fry.
Right.
All she saw was a 20-year-old kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in her mind, a 20-year-old white kid, he's got issues that should be worked out, as opposed to, nah, you killed 9 people, you don't get to pass go, get $200, no funeral, just a big ass hole, drop your monkey ass in
And let him go.
Well, you know there are a lot of people who are against the death penalty.
And that's me.
I will say that.
I'm going to tell you why.
I cannot say that I'm against it, because I'm telling you, if he's got to go. I mean, forgive, I get that, but you know, he showed no remorse, and he said he wasn't sorry.
Well, look at Ricky Gray.
He got to go too.
He got. Well, I'm not. Well, but that's what I'm saying. Look at this.
He killed.
Ricky Gray is scheduled to be murdered tomorrow.
Yes.
Wednesday. I'm sorry. Wednesday. They're saying that the lethal injection is cruel and unusual.
Now, for those folks who are not in the Richmond area, Joe, very, very briefly, on January 1st, 2016, what did Ricky Gray and Ray Dandridge do? You remember?
Yeah, they killed 4.
Not 2016.
2006. I'm sorry. 2006.
They home invasion. They murdered a family of 4: mother, father, and 2 daughters, 2 little girls.
And then
9 and 4.
he also killed the girlfriend that drove him and Ricky Ray. He killed her.
The girl. There was a girl who was with Ricky and Ray and helped them kill the white family. And then after she drove the getaway car, they went home and killed her and her family.
Yeah.
Ricky is the one that's getting executed Wednesday.
Yeah, the other guy's got life in prison.
He's convicted of killing the white family, and Ray is convicted of killing the black family, and he got life in prison.
Whoa!
So we can have fun with that if we really wanted to.
We could tear that one
Now that I didn't know.
We can have fun. We can have fun about how you get death penalty for killing white folk and you get life for killing black folk. We could do that, but I don't want.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I still, like me.
Oh, we can't do that. We clear.
We can do that.
I'm against the death penalty because I think it's the easy way out. I'm a torture man.
Oh,
I was going to say that.
Okay.
I'm a torture man.
I can understand that.
Like,
I can understand that.
Like, this,
Listen, I get you. I got you. But you say that, you think about torture. Do you know how much it costs to house one inmate?
And I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I don't say. Listen, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm not. I wouldn't say house them.
No, you know
I'm not
what?
saying
You have
housing.
to, if you have custody of that person, you have to house them and treat them.
No. You could put them out on Broad Street in one of those things right on Broad Street.
What did they call them back in the
What did they
days?
call those things?
gallows.
Yeah, the gallows. Right there.
I get what you're saying,
If
but
we bring that back?
you can't. Yeah, if we brought it back, but I mean, a lot of folks we went over.
20,000. I think the average was 20,000 in 2014. We just looked at these numbers at work for some odd reason or another. $20,000 is the national average, and it might have gone up, and I might be wrong, to keep somebody on death row, because you don't kill them immediately.
No,
they
that's a 4 or 5
get
year period.
sentenced
Maybe it might
Could be longer.
Yeah.
And then they get a last meal.
Yeah,
Yes.
because what's his face been on
Manson?
Not Manson.
Oh, he been on death row for.
Ever.
All us old heads in here, Cool C, he been on death row, and he keep
Still
getting
is.
saved every year. He keep getting saved.
I mean, everybody was sitting there talking about how do we lethal injection? No problem, doc. You don't want no lethal injection? Not a problem. He said he wanted a firing squad.
What if they don't shoot? What if he doesn't die from the bullets?
Oh no, you don't
gonna
trust me.
die.
Oh, just shoot him in
They
the
got
head.
shot. Guess what?
Just shoot him
That's
right in the head.
don't worry about that.
okay,
But why
okay.
waste the bullet?
Yeah, why
Nah.
waste? It's not even just one bullet. It's more than one person shooting them because they don't want the one person to know
It's 7.
who fired the killing shot, right?
It's 7. Several of them have blanks. More than one person actually has.
Lord have
Around.
mercy. Yeah, you got to spend money on that.
Yeah, then you got to clean it up. I mean, you know, like I just say hook him up like the mafia used to do. Put some cement shoes on, drive his ass in the chain, let it roll. Bloop, bloop,
Or just, go get some kerosene or something, light him on fire.
I mean, when
Like
you
the-
do
that thing.
Like the
when you
witch
do,
trials.
when you do heinous things, you deserve heinous things.
And-
I don't have any sympathy.
Lethal injection, nothing, man.
I don't have any empathy.
Yeah, because lethal it is truly humane. It's
Yo, I shoot his ass.
A sleep, like a
Yeah,
sleep,
fall
a
asleep,
drug.
and then
I'll put him
their
in the
system
lions.
dies.
I'll put him in the lions den.
I put him there.
You know what I'm saying?
They killed Harimbe for no reason. I mean, laughing. But Harimbe had nothing. He did what he was doing naturally, and they killed him. I'm saying we should go. I mean, they should do. There's a lot of different things, but you know, we got kind of off topic. But think about what we just sit there and said, and we're not going to go hash back and forth. But Dylan Roof. Oh, that dude right there, he gets no sympathy.
I'm sorry, I have not.
But our country is willing to give him, not when I say our country, folks, be clear.
Some people.
Some people are willing to be more vocal about what happened, and I don't know if were there any children? I can't remember. Were there any children in that service that day?
Yes.
There were children in that service as well?
I don't know if they were little, but
think
there
they were
were children.
teenagers.
Yeah, they were
Teenagers.
teenage age,
Okay.
yeah. But still.
And the bad what? He left one to be able to go back and tell his story.
Yes, that's the thing.
You gotta watch this, and I'm not gonna kill you because I want you to go back and tell the story. You know that dude he was bucking for crazy.
Yeah, and he had that plotted because he wanted everybody to remember his name.
Yo.
Yep. All right, y'all. All right, we're going to go to a break right now. We'll be back shortly. If y'all want to comment on anything that we discussed earlier, you can call us at 804-402-2893.